Why do you overshare? And what does that mean psychologically? Sometimes people overshare because they think it builds deeper connections. Sometimes too, people overshare because they're not comfortable about dead silence or dead air. Meron namang iba, they like to overshare because they seek reassurance and validation. At meron ding mga ibang tao, wala silang boundaries and they don't know how to stop talking. So please, be mindful. Stop spiraling into stress. Catch yourself, your thoughts, and don't overshare so that you don't have to worry what's out there.
Listen, have you ever in your life met a woman that just overshares information? There's like random women, sometimes you meet them and you just sit there and then she's just like, yeah, I've got fibroids, yeah. My husband just had a vasectomy last night, I had a miscarriage. And I'm like, no, I don't want to know that. That is personal information. I'm just a stranger. It was just a hello. It was just small talk. It didn't have to go that deep. And they just continue go on and you're just like, I need to run away as fast as I can.
No secrets, no games, just us and God. We trust in each other.
Have you or your friends ever gotten tired of those endless talking circles? You know, the conversations that loop forever with no real solution. Even though the problem's been dragging on for years, hearing way too much personal info dumped on you, only to watch people get sucked into manipulation tactics. Yeah, me too. In our fast-paced world, riddled with toxic family patterns and maladaptive vibes, you've got a choice. Throw a flag on the play and demand accountability, especially when others are blind to being played for fools. Today, we're diving into why oversharing is a massive red flag, why piling on empathy often backfires, and how you can cut through the mental chaos, reclaim your peace, and step into true sanity.
And then empathy can get really tricky if you're too empathetic and you start thinking about all these personal destinies of the people you have to lay off. This gives you sleepless nights, and then you can't manage yourself anymore because you're also affected, right? You're losing your job. Everyone losing their job. So empathy, I think, is a very, very important one, but also you need to find a way to deal with it in a way that you can say, okay, I go until here, but then I also need to do a little bit of self-care for me as a leader, because otherwise it's too much of empathy. So finding this fine line, but what I always do, and no matter what kind of situations, I always try to remind myself in starting every conversation, every one-on-one and every team meeting, and asking, how are you?
For people that you want to help, be responsible for helping them. Don't be responsible for their problems. So when you make their problems your problems, when you get overly invested, let's find you a girlfriend, let's find you a boyfriend, let's find you love. I'm going to work night and day to find you love. That's a recipe for disaster, because you can't find them love. You can't control their behavior, but you're trying to achieve a particular thing in their life. It actually has a paradoxical effect where the more invested you become, the more it damages you and the more lazy they become. As you take responsibility for the outcome, they stop taking responsibility for the outcome. And a pattern that I've seen in my practice over and over and over again is that the more empathic that you are, the more people rely on you and become like basically lazy, right?
The truth is, you have one of two mindsets. You're either a victim mindset or you're an accountable mindset. What's the victim mindset? The victim mindset is where you look to blame external circumstances and people and situations for your shortcomings. And what happens in that is nothing good comes out of that. You don't grow, you don't learn, you don't get better, you don't accomplish your best life. And yet that's what's most pervasive, is that victim mindset. Whether you know it or not, it creeps in everywhere. In fact, we're rewarded for it in some cases. In some cases, you can get settlements for that victim mindset. The other mindset is the accountable mindset. And the accountable mindset needs to be fostered, needs to be cultivated. It doesn't happen on its own. But that's a mindset that recognizes that I have choice. I have free will choice. I always have choice, no matter what the situation, and then taking ownership of those choices. And it's subtly different, but it's profoundly different in terms of how I show up in the world and what I can accomplish.
I think a lot of people, when they hear be authentic or be vulnerable, they go level 3, and then people are like, I don't want to know that. And sometimes it actually does the opposite. It makes people turn away from you versus embracing you.
Now that we've unpacked why oversharing becomes such a draining problem and how endless empathy often keeps the cycle spinning without real change, here's the empowering shift. A meaningful, practical way to shape better behavior, set firm boundaries, and protect your peace. Butterflies, you don't have to stay stuck in those exhausting loops. The key isn't more sympathy, it's gentle but clear accountability for yourself and others. Start by owning your part. I notice I keep hearing the same issues without progress. What can we actually do different this time? When someone dumps too much or plays victim after oversharing, respond with calm firmness. I care about what you're going through, but I need us to focus on solutions, not just venting. What's one step you're willing to take? This isn't cold, it's compassionate leadership. It models healthy behavior, breaks the manipulation patterns, and invites real growth instead of endless circles.
How to respond to someone who always plays victim. Step 1. Acknowledge without fueling. Say, I hear that this has been tough for you. That gives recognition, but it doesn't give oxygen to the drama. Step 2. Redirect to responsibility. Follow with, what do you think would help fix it? Now they have to step out of victim mode and into problem solving. Step 3. Set your boundary. If the cycle repeats, be clear. I want to support you, but I can't if it's only about blame. Let's focus on what's in your control. That draws a line between empathy and enabling. Save this video and follow How to Convince with Lawyer Vince. But it doesn't give oxygen to the drama. Step 2. Redirect to responsibility. Follow with, what do you think would help fix it? Now they have to step out of victim mode and into problem solving. Step 3. Set your boundary. If the cycle repeats, be clear. I want to support you, but I can't if it's only about blame. Let's focus on what's in your control. That draws a line between empathy and enabling. Save this video and follow How to Convince with Lawyer Vince.
I empathize for the things he's been through growing up. I empathize and I feel for him, and he did not deserve that, and it's not his fault. But what he is responsible for is the ways in which he's continued to harm me and continued to cause me pain and others pain. Because at what point at our grown age are we going to take responsibility for the ways in which we show up in our lives and the harm we cause to others based on the harm that was caused to us?
At what age is it finally time to stop blaming your parents? When is it all your fault? Is it 18? I think so. Is it 22? Is it 30? Is it 40? Like, when is it time for you to be like, yep, bad neighborhood, yep, dad was a narcissist, yep, grew up in a bad economic time, yep, picked the wrong industry, yep, like got forced into a college by my parents and I shouldn't have taken on that debt. But when is it you? Today. My man, today.
Remember this, no one plays the victim harder than the person who actually caused the damage. You know exactly who I'm talking about. The coworker who stirred the drama, then suddenly became the misunderstood team player. The friend who threw the first punch, then cried about being attacked. The manager who made a mess, then acts shocked when anyone noticed the smoke. These people don't just flip the script. They print a whole new screenplay where they're the hero, they're the martyr, and the tragic main character all at once. Here's the psychology. Accountability feels like death to someone who built their identity on being right. So they perform, they cry victim, they twist narratives, and if you're not grounded, they'll have you questioning reality like, maybe I am the problem? No, you are not crazy. They are just loud. And here's the real twist. Their victim act isn't about innocence. It's about control. If they can frame themselves as the wounded one, they never have to face the mirror. They never have to grow. They never have to change. Meanwhile, you're sitting there holding the emotional bill for damage they caused. So do yourself a favor. Stop explaining. Stop proving. Stop trying to get validation from the person who broke the vase and is now crying about the glass on the floor. Let people think whatever they need to think to sleep at night. You don't need to convince anyone. Truth doesn't need a press tour. Time will expose what ego tried to hide. And when the dust settles, the person who played the victim will still be who they are. And you will still be free. Save this for the day someone tries to rewrite history and put you in the villain role. You're not the villain. You just stop tolerating their nonsense.
And there you have it, butterflies. We've just flipped the script from endless empathy loops to real life-changing accountability. You don't have to keep carrying other people's chaos. You get to choose peace, boundaries, and growth, starting right now. Let's be real. Sometimes kindness isn't an option. When the talking circles turn manipulative, when the oversharing becomes emotional blackmail, or when empathy just keeps feeding the same toxic pattern, you're allowed to draw the line hard. Protecting your sanity isn't mean, it's necessary. If this hits home and you want more tools, scripts, mindset shifts, and community support to break free from these patterns for good, head over to the website.
Hey there! Watch me go! Whee! This is fun! Let's keep going!
Head over to the website right now, don'tplaywithit.com. The link is in the bio or in a pinned comment. Subscribe there for weekly deep dives, free boundary setting guides, and a space where we actually hold each other accountable in the kindest or firmest way possible. If this video helped you see things clearer, drop a fire emoji in the comments, share it with that friend who's stuck in the talking circles, and hit subscribe so you never miss the next one. You got this. Let's keep choosing sanity over sympathy, even when it means being unapologetically firm. See you on the site and talk to you soon. Take care.
We started with fire, melon, and broke in the dark. Two hearts carrying legacies, carrying scars. But baby, we learned the first ingredients: trust. No secrets, no games, just us and God we trust. Oh, and each other.